Welcome to Old Guy Tech,
the OGT.TV recording studio.
Technology for the rest of us.
Hi, I'm Rob Charney with Old Guy Tech TV. I'm here today with Corey Ward of Ward's Automotive to talk about all things automotive. Ward's Automotive is your local mechanic shop that you can go to. We've been using Ward's Automotive for a long time, so we would love to hear what Corey has to say about what the heck's going on. So, good morning, Corey. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, huh? So you're a little excited about this?
You bet.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we just get right into it? Why don't you tell us what Ward's Automotive, what your philosophy is, what it is you do, what do you work on? Let's just go ahead and let's get right into it.
Okay. Generally, we're an a general automotive repair shop. We work on all makes and models. We don't work on a lot of your European, but as far as your Asian and domestic, we'll do those all day long. We do, however, specialize in your diesel engines, typically your Fords, your Chevrolets, and your Dodges with the Cummins, the Power Stroke, and the Duramax diesel. However, we do work on your diesel pushers. We see a lot of those. Your Freightliners. We do some of those. We have the ability to communicate as far as electronically to diagnose a particular problem.
Oh, good.
With all those, we don't, like I said, get into the European. We just don't see a lot of that need in this area.
Right. So the BMWs and the Mercedes,
Audis, Volkswagens, things like that, and they're good rigs.
Right.
But it's just a lot of our folks they just have your basic diesel or gasoline. We don't get extremely deep into the gasoline like we used to, mainly because they're lasting so much longer nowadays.
Right.
But yeah, we can handle just about anything.
One of the things that has happened up in our area is we've had our dealerships just fold right and left.
Yes.
Have you found that because of that you're actually picking up more business?
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As far as your general maintenance and things like that, absolutely.
Right.
However, unfortunately for the folks that are still under warranty, they still got to go back down the hill.
Really? So any warranty work you can't do?
No independent shop can do,
I see.
A manufacturer's warranty.
Right. That's interesting. So, you ever see that changing?
No.
Yeah. So they don't want to let go of that.
No.
Yeah. I'll be darned. Well, okay, I'll tell you what. Let's go next. So let's talk about your credentials. How'd you get your education? How'd you start in mechanics?
I've always had a knack for it, I guess you could say, or maybe a liking to it, When I was little, my parents have pictures of me helping my dad over the fender of a Jeep, handing him tools, this, that, and the other. So I've always had an interest in it. As far as my education, I really haven't had a formal education in the automotive repair business. I definitely have taken classes throughout the years, whether it be for diagnostics or analog brakes or particular diesel engine, things of that nature. But I would say the majority of it I've learned from my dad in the School of Hard Knocks. Yeah,
there you go. Now, what are the classifications? I noticed, what is it, ASE?
ASE.
Yeah, and what is that?
ASE is I guess you could call it an organization that basically you go down to, they used to have them at Sierra College, where you go down, take a 3-4 day week course. At the end of the week, then you would take a test geared to where you wanted to excel in. But the only issues that I've had with ASE through the years is if you're good at taking tests,
you'll get that.
Anyone could go down there and get it. But
yeah, right.
And there's nothing wrong. I should clarify that there's nothing wrong with ASE, but I'm learning every single day. Like
right.
One of the guys that delivers parts for us, his name's Jerry Mayfield. He has a quote. He's been in the repair business for years and years and years, and people used to ask him, so how long have you been in the business? And he would tell them, well, I started 25 years ago, but last week was my first week. Meaning that you're constantly learning what's going on. I mean, there's new vehicles coming out,
right.
Every year, if not every 6 months.
Yeah.
So you're constantly having to learn, keep updated with what is going on, whether it be software or technical service bulletins, as far as manufacturers will come out with they call them TSBs, a technical service bulletin, to where they will a vehicle will have an inherent problem, and then we can get access to that and things like that.
Yeah.
You know, but you're constantly learning. But I've definitely learned through trial and error.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, that's all part of it, isn't it? And you seem to be fairly successful at that. So,
well, we try.
Yeah, well, we all do. So Ward's Automotive is family run. Did it start with your dad? How did it start?
It started back in, I want to say it was 1978. I was 5 years old, and my father used to work for a gentleman by the name of Bob Weaver, over on the corner of Headington Road in Green Valley, and he had he was a general repair shop, but he also had a side four-wheel drive parts for your old Jeeps, Land Cruisers, things like that. Well, he wanted to sell it. My dad said, well, shoot, I'll buy his inventory. It was a smaller inventory.
Right.
And move that into my parents' garage. And every weekend he would work on Jeeps and other vehicles. And then that kind of got busier and busier, and the ball kept rolling. And he ended up building the shop and where it is now. And then when I got out of college, I started working for him full-time.
Wow, right into it.
So, but I've always been, I grew up with it.
Right. You
know.
So you've been working on mechanics your whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you started as a little kid, that's pretty much your whole life. Yes.
I've had an interest in it, that's for sure.
Well, I know you've been a wealth of information for me, so I can understand that. So, why don't you talk about the specialties? I know that you specialize in banks and pack, right?
Mm-hmm, correct.
Okay, so let's start out with banks. Why don't you tell us what Banks Power is all about and how it works?
Okay. Your Banks Power System, they are an aftermarket company down in Southern California. The simplest way I could put what a bank system does, whether it's for a diesel, gasoline, a motorhome, whether it's gas or diesel, is it will take the vehicle's stock, whether it be exhaust or intake, and it will improve the airflow. That's the main objective we're trying to go after, and what they're trying to go after is trying to get as much air into the motor as fast as we can and trying to get it out as fast as we can. If we can achieve that, then our performance will go up, our economy will go up. Now, economy is a kind of a touchy thing, especially nowadays with the cost of fuel being so high. There is absolutely the potential to get better fuel mileage, whether it's a gas or a diesel, but it's not always a guarantee. It's kind of all dependent on your right foot and how you're going to drive the vehicle.
Right. So does it actually give you more power?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. That is a given. With the diesels, we can do different things electronically that we plug into these to manipulate our timing, our fuel pressure. End result, we are giving it more fuel and more power, but we also want to compensate by giving it also a lot more air.
Right. All right. So with the increase of efficiency of air, that also helps with the mileage as well, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? Yeah. Right.
Yes.
So that part would
the potential is always there to get better mileage.
Yeah.
And for the most part, folks do. But I'd be fibbing to you if I said that I've had folks come back didn't see anything.
Right.
But
well, yeah, it could be minute. So what is it physically bolted onto the engine? What is it doing?
Okay. Let's just take, for example, like we'll say Ford Power Stroke.
Right.
Okay. We will take and remove the factory's stock exhaust system. We will install a new, larger exhaust system that is what they call mandrel bent, meaning that most of your diesels or your aftermarket systems now have a 4-inch exhaust system, but it's a constant 4-inch diameter. So you could literally slide a 4-inch ball all the way through it, as opposed to your factory exhaust systems where when they bend them, they put them in a break. And so we go from, say, a 4-inch or a 3-inch, and then it's crushed at the corners. And it's impeding our airflow as we're going out.
So why do they do that?
Time.
Oh, okay.
A mandrel brake for an exhaust, they're quite pricey.